you are an international spiritual medium, correct?
Yes, I
So
am.
this is your platform. So let us get to know you first. Introduce yourself, and then I'll ask you a few questions.
Okay, so I'm Kirsty Chellick and I'm based in the UK. Even before COVID hit, where we couldn't do as many events and mingle with people, I've read for people all around the world. So Australia, Germany, now Singapore. I seem to have quite a following in Singapore already. Spain, you name it. It's easy. We sit like this on a camera or on the phone if people are camera shy, and we link to their loved ones in the spirit world.
Wow.
So it's a bit like you with your list. You know, some people need connection. They need to say, is my mom, is my dad, is whoever all right on the spirit side? Or you get it where people need guidance. I've got this happening in life. What's going on? Can spirit tell me which way to go? So I work with both of those and hopefully help a lot of people. But we
I
do it
think
with fun. You've got to have
yes,
fun with it.
yes, absolutely. Every time I come to you for readings, I have listened, and and we laugh in between. I
Laughter is
laugh in between.
medicine. Laughter is medicine, you know.
But be,
People think that it's all doom and gloom, and that's not what it's about. It's about bringing comfort, reassurance, upliftment, and laughter.
of
Spirit don't
course.
want us to carry on our life miserable and missing them and not enjoying what we've got left on the earth plane. So you've got to bring a bit of fun to it. They're very naughty, spirit, as you know, with some of the things that they do. Very naughty.
I mean, nobody would even thought about it that way. Everybody look at death in such a gloomy way, right? And I think with you, it's. I mean, I've met a couple of people like you. I mean, it's such a great insight on how to look at death, right? I mean, there's a positive lightness in it. That's the way I see it.
But every medium works different. So I'm a great believer in, if you're at one of the spiritual shows, you could be the only reader sat in that room. If the person that needs a message isn't drawn to your energy for whatever reason, they don't link right, then they won't come to you. So when I go to shows and there's been 9 or 10 readers sat in the room and people go, oh, we're not going to make any money today, there's too many people sat here. One, it's not all about the money. They've got that wrong, because you could be there for a different purpose. But two, I always say to people, if they look at me and they say, oh, I'm not sure, I say, have a walk around the room, check out all the mediums, see who you're drawn to, because that'll be the right person that can give you the correct energy and the correct message.
Right. Okay. So before we get into your gift, I mean, this is truly a gift. I don't know whether it's a gift. Like for me, I would freak out all the time when people coming in. I'm like, oh my God, the reason I live on my own is because I need a peace of mind, and I hear you all coming. So before we get to that, right, I want to know, how do you stay fit in your mind itself? There's a lot of stuff that goes on. How do you switch it off?
It's like a job. It is exactly like a job. And yes, there is no time concept with spirit. So they would be at you 24/7 if they could. So you have to form like a contract, like you would with an employer. Because for spirit, you're going to meet Sarah 3 weeks on Thursday. So, we'll get a message to her. So what you need to do, for me, this is how I work. I have a reading room that's like a Harry Potter room. So it's all mystical and wizardy and a bit dark, which is why I'm not sat in there today. We needed a bit of light.
Right.
So what I do is, when I'm in there and my doors are shut and I'm working, spirit know, yeah, we can work with her. When I open the door and I go, right, guys, I'm knackered, thanks, they know to leave me alone. Now, I only see spirit when I'm working properly. When I'm sat relaxing, I sense, I know they're there and I sense, but it's up to me if I want to acknowledge it. If you see somebody sat in front of you, automatically go, oh God, what do you want? So it's my choice if I go, okay, is there something urgent that you need to tell me? Does somebody need to link? It's my choice. So when I work with spirit, I see, do you know what I mean by, I don't know, in Singapore, the Ready Brek kid? Have you heard of Ready Brek, the cereal? It's an advert where when you eat this cereal, it gets you warm for the winter mornings, and this person has a glow around them, okay? So I see them as an outline. And then they give me pictures in my mind of what they look like, what sort of scenarios they've been through and images. So that's how I work. And then I sense and I feel what they passed with and how they work and all sorts of information like that. But after that, once I'm not working, I just sense.
Wow.
So how many times have you been sat there and all of a sudden you go, I feel like somebody's watching me or somebody's sat with me? Quite a lot, I think.
But I completely turn it off all the time.
Yeah. But it's not like I walk around all the time going, I see dead people. I don't do that. I see dumb people, but not dead people.
I see them too. I see them dumb people too.
I think sometimes there are mediums like that see it all the time, but I think then they've not set the boundaries. It's like with life, with anything, you've got to set boundaries because people will take, as we know. So it's the same concept. You know, the dead are actually less annoying than the living.
You can turn it off.
Don't get me wrong, there's good and bad spirits. So, you know, it's the same thing. You have to be able to tell some to go away, you know, like you would a person. And you have to get quite strong with them sometimes if they're really pushing it. But I've got a lot of spirit team around me that kind of keep those at bay. Wow.
So you have a team?
Yeah.
Wow, this is so interesting. I didn't know this.
Yeah. So, you don't think it's me that's all intelligent, do you? You know, I
yes, I do.
All this profound stuff and be really intelligent. It comes from up there.
Wow. So I want to know, when did it all started for you?
I think I've had it since a child, but my dad is very black and white. So when I said when Grandma had died, she was sat on the edge of the bed talking to me, and he said, "Don't be silly. You've just had a nightmare." I never questioned it. So it wasn't until I got older, and you know when you get senses and vibes and you could walk into buildings and feel uncomfortable and you didn't know why. So it wasn't until sort of I had a marriage breakdown and I was a bit of at a loose end and I thought, what can I do? And I went to join a development circle that then opened it all up, and things that I thought were a bit weird were actually quite normal for me because it's what the spirit were giving me, and I didn't understand it. Because like you, I was absolutely terrified of all this. Up until about sort of 17 years ago, I used to sleep with the light on and the telly on because I was so frightened, because I didn't understand it. And fear is very powerful when we don't understand something, because this takes over, and before you know it, you're nearly having heart palpitations and passing out, aren't you? Because you think, I'm going to die. It's that duvet of steel on the bed that you hide underneath and it protects you. And it really doesn't. So once I understood it and thought, it's just energy I didn't understand, once I started to understand it, wasn't frightened. And it's just been a progression, and I'm still learning. You never know it all. You still live and learn, and I love watching other mediums and picking up tips and hints because we all work very different. Right.
So like you do a lot of readings for other people. How do you do your own reading? Do you go to somebody else, or?
Yeah. Sometimes you can pick up, it's intuition you can pick up for yourself, but it's very difficult sometimes. We know, it's like I read for other people and they kind of know, but you need clarity from somebody who doesn't know you to go, actually, what I'm feeling is right. Because we're human, we're living a human existence. So we get our own thoughts and images in the way, don't we, of life, of kind of what we'd want rather than what's going to be. When I do readings, I say to people, you know, be open-minded, because the person you want might not come in and they might tell you something that you don't want to hear. So if you ring me up and it's because you want an answer on that, yeah, they might give you that, but then they might say, hang on though, this is happening and you need to sort it out. And a lot of people will be quite, no, it doesn't make sense, because they don't want to acknowledge it.
Okay, so my question is, when you get messages from the other side to a person that has come to you and seek guidance, and do you tell them what you hear, or do you sometimes the spirits can give you like shitty messages? Do you have to make it?
Do you have to filter them slightly? Yeah, I kind of, the ones I don't give bad if I'm seeing something really bad, spirit tend not to show me that. They will give me a warning. The only reason I will give an answer on if somebody is going to pass over that's still living is if I've got a person, if they've asked the question saying, when I ring this medium today, I need to know, is my mum going to suffer for a long time, or is it coming soon, or I'm at my wit's end and I can't cope, then I know they've asked that question because spirit will give me a time scale. They won't be precise because that person will just live to that date. And obviously, you know, things in the universe can alter things slightly. So,
right.
Yeah, I try and say it in a nice way, but just sometimes the filter breaks down.
Right.
So, you know what it's like. I've said it to you.
Mine keeps changing.
I'm quite blunt in some respects because if that's what people, I tend to find people come to me if they need a bit of I was going to say ass kicking, because sometimes they're just not learning the lessons, or they're not listening, and spirit are going, come on, you've got this, but you need to listen. So I can be quite to the point, maybe.
Right. But do you have like customers that comes to you, like timeline is important for people, right? Yeah. So if I come to you and you tell me, okay, you know, in by November, Lila, you will be a billionaire. So I go like, okay, so I'm waiting and I'm waiting. But then it doesn't happen. Do you get customer? How do you deal with that? Time changes all the time. Decisions changes. Right?
But also, everything is about divine timing. So yes, spirit might have given me November. It might not be November this year. It might be November next year. And because it could be that I get it all the time. When am I going to meet Mr. Right? When is he coming? And they'll say to me, okay, he's coming by November. Typical. I had one the other night. A lady rang me, damsel in distress, said, I don't know what to do. And she was whispering because she was outside at this man's house. And she said, you read for me and said this man was coming in August and he was the one. She said, and I went, no, spirit is saying to me, you've picked the wrong one. There must have been another one around you at the same time. She was like, no. And I was like, no, spirit are telling me there was another option. And she went, oh my God, yes, there was. I said, and you went for the bad boy. And she said, I did. I went, it's not him. I said, you need to ditch him and go for the other one. Anyway, she messaged me this morning. She said, I left him yesterday and I'm ringing the other one tomorrow. So.
Well, you won't have that problem with me. I will never ask you, when is the next one coming? Because the door's shut.
Yeah, but I always tell you and you go, no. Of course, it's your own free will. And, you know, and it's the difference of, if you see Mr. Right and you're not in the right place, it won't happen at that time. But spirit will get you back on track. It's like when people are in a bad relationship and I say to them, you know, there is somebody else coming in. You do need to make this transition. Spirit are saying you'll be okay. And sometimes people are scared to make that move because the fear of the unknown. So they may delay it. But I said, it doesn't matter if you go back and you try again. If it's your own peace of mind to say, I've given it my all, that's fine. Spirit will get you back on track further down the line. The only thing that concerns me is you'll set yourself up for, you know, 3 times as much heartache.
Right. So are we saying that the spirits here are to guide us? They are like, guide us. What is the purpose of the spirits?
They are there just to watch over us. Obviously, things have got to happen. Lessons have got to be learnt. They can only give us a bit of guidance. It's not cast in stone because, like you, being stubborn, free will, all the rest of it, you know, they can only give us a guide. I can't tell you how many friends I have that go, well, you did say that. Yeah, but you went against it. That's your choice. Yeah, and the outcome was not good. Then they go, I know, I should have listened. It's like Groundhog Day. They do it all the time. They go, oh, don't ask me because you're not going to follow what they're telling you. Right. So, you know, it's free will. So it's just a bit of a guide. But I think sometimes people, do you know what gets me? Is sometimes that people don't have the money to pay a gas bill sometimes, but they'd rather spend it on a medium just to know that something's good is coming and there's something there looking after them or someone in spirit, and just know that it's going to be all right. And
Right.
I can't sometimes get my head around that they're struggling with bills, but they want to pay somebody just to know that those bills eventually are going to get paid and they're going to be all right. People use mediums for very different things, and it's a very fine line between a medium and a counsellor. And I must admit, I'm not a trained counsellor, and I will say to somebody, I think you need to go and see a professional that's geared up for that, that's qualified. I can only link you with spirit, and it doesn't matter how distraught they are and how much evidence I can give them and link them. It's not sorting out their grief. It might help, but sometimes they need a bit more of a professional to do that. And one thing I won't do is step over the line and become a counsellor, because I'm not trained.
Right. This is so interesting because the show is all about, you know, mind, body, spirit. And we are literally talking about the spiritual world, right?
Yeah.
The spirit world, sorry. I find this fascinating. So when you had the revelation, you opened up and you began to understand it. So how did your family react to it? I mean, your or your friends, when do you talk to them about it?
I think you attract your tribe. So, you know, when I first started out, I was a little bit sort of embarrassed and didn't say what I did, because people always go, she's the weirdo, she's the weird one, she talks to dead people. And then automatically they think you're a mind reader, which is good in some instances. You know, if you've got somebody who's a real jerk, and I was at work and I just do this. So I was looking over their shoulder, and because they knew what I did, they were like, what do you see? You'd see grown men quiver because they didn't know what was going on. There was nobody there, but you know, they didn't know that. So when I first started out, I was really a bit, you know, don't tell anybody. And then I thought, I don't give a toss. I love it. It kind of, the more you do it, the more you learn. You're like a sponge at the beginning. So like you say, mind, body, spirit, all the therapies that link, you understand why Indian head massage helps you when you link all the chakras and balancing the body and the Reiki. It's not just about linking to spirit. It's the whole universal energy and everything that encompasses it. So,
right.
and then you start attracting, you realize there's more spiritual people than you thought, because you get talking and they're like, oh, she gets me. We're on the same wavelength. How many times have you heard, oh, I like that person, they're on the same wavelength as me? Yeah, it's frequencies, it's energy, isn't it? So yeah. You can walk into a room and 10 people go, oh, she's lovely. And you think, I don't get a good vibe. So, and then you don't know why, because she seems lovely. And then further down the line, you go, oh, I was so right. So right. So it's energies and it's linking on frequencies. How many times do you get woken up in the night and you don't know why?
Too many times, okay?
Okay, so it's spirit. It's like tuning a radio. So when we go to sleep, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. is alpha state. So your mind is linking with that radio frequency, and they go, ta-da! She can hear us. And they come to wake you up to give you messages. So before you go to bed, because you're very tired, you burn, girl, you burn. So yeah. I feel like you just need to say, it's lovely that you all want to come and visit me, but sod off, I need some sleep.
Okay.
Because they just want to talk to you and give you messages. And because you're an inspiring person and you're helping other people, that person you might be building them back up from sort of breaking down. So they're probably going to say, oh, we'll pass a message through you to my granddaughter, grandson, whoever you're coming into contact with, to let them know that, come on, they're on the right path and we're supporting them. So they'll not all be your family that's coming to you, because you're a giver, you're a helper, you inspire people, you get them on the right track, you help so many people. So you're kind of like a little assistant to spirit world.
Thanks for that.
So that's you sleeping with a light on tonight.
But we're talking about now, we're talking about messages, right? Spirit will always give us messages. So is that verbally? Is it by what we see, what we feel? How does that work? For different people, it's different?
All of it. So they are called the 6 clairs. So there's clairsentient, clairaugustus. So there's seeing, there's knowing, there's tasting, there's smelling, there's your just a feeling that you get. There's hearing, clairaudient. So some people hear spirit like we're talking. I don't. Mine's like schizophrenia, the inner voice, you know, where you hear the voices in your head and you kind of just know what you want to say, what they want to say. It's really strange because people say to me, oh my God, that was their character. That's just how they have said it. And I didn't realize. And it's your characteristics. Sometimes I might be sat there doing something like this and they go, oh, my granddad used to sit there and do that all the time. Or my facial expressions might be altering. So it's working on all your senses. How many times do you get gut instincts? Do you trust them? Or do you think,
yeah, I do.
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I do, but I'm dumb. I don't follow it, and I go the opposite. and then I go like, told you so, dummy. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that after I've generally eaten a biscuit. Shouldn't have eaten that. It's gone straight on. You knew it. They were telling me.
No, but I've experienced business-wise, you know, like or people that I beat, and I know, but I think the nature of my personality is I would like to be proven wrong about people, you know, and then it's okay. Like I know the end product of it. It's okay. I pay for it, but it's like somebody knocking your head. Told you so. Told you so. No.
Yeah, but that's because you see the good in people, and I think the thing with you and I is we can't understand that people don't have the same ethics, standards, outlook, whatever it is. So, and because we're quite spiritual, you're 10 times more sensitive than a normal person. So for somebody that would get upset of, you know, somebody duping us in business, for us, oh, you may as well have stabbed us through the heart. We feel it. And sometimes you'll wake up and you think, you know, you're quite a motivated individual, but there are days where you wake up and you go and you have that sinking feeling and the motivation's gone. We are in the most powerful energy shift right now. Today is a super new moon. So we're in retrograde. There are 5 planets in retrograde at the moment. So if you've got time today, burn your list to the universe. It's great for manifesting things that you want. So write down things that you want, but as though you've already got them, burn it to the universe and let it come in. So it's powerful. But, you know, for a lot of people, I'm always the opposite on moon phases where people go, oh, I'm buzzing, I feel great. I'm the other way. I feel like, oh, I feel suicidal. And it's these energies. So you just have to ride with it. But it's very much a girl power year this year. It's achieving things that you want, setting a goal, breaking cycles, getting rid of negative people, attracting a new tribe, and very financially rewarding between now and December if you're a type of person that gets your backside into gear and goes for it. So
wow, when you talk about retrograde, I mean, some of the audience that are listening in, they don't know what that means. So you're talking about the planets being aligned, is that correct?
Yeah, but it kind of brings things, when we're in retrograde, it takes us back to past. So it brings in energies of things we might have experienced before. So if you keep attracting idiot men, or, you know, you keep going for the wrong type of job, or you can't sort of get on track with a diet and things like that, it brings all those bad situations back to the forefront. But what you've got to realize is you're learning a lesson. So if you don't learn the lesson, you'll do it all again. If you have, it's about breaking the cycles and going, do you know what, this year I'm not going to do that. I'm going to concentrate on me. It's about self-awareness, self-love, looking after yourself, getting fit if you're feeling unfit, you know, changing your image, just being the person that you're meant to be and stepping back into your power.
Wow. You know, now
it's almost like a test.
Okay. You know, like now, talking about spirit world, it's not such a taboo anymore because everybody is feeling the same thing. They need guidance. They want to be aware. You know, we are more accepting. So I remember about 20, 30 years ago, nobody talks about this. You know, they go like, you know, that person is cuckoo. You know, how can it be? I mean, out of all people, some of them are non-believers anyway. So it doesn't really matter. We're not here to convince them. I think what you're doing is wonderful because you are connecting people that need direction, need guidance, you know, to feel good, you know. But what I like about what you say is, I'm giving you all this, but at the end of the day, it's your own free will.
Yeah.
You know, it's your choice. You can take it and move forward, or you can take it, keep it, and keep doing the same thing, and there's no change. Right? Did I get it right?
Yes, exactly spot on. But you know, you tend to attract energies of people that are going through what you've already been there, done it, bought the t-shirt. So I can hand on heart say to people, look, sweetie, I'm not judging you because I've been there and I've done it. It took me probably 5 attempts before I learned the lesson. Right. So, you know, nobody's going to judge you. You've got to do what feels right for you, but eventually you'll be on the right track.
Right.
So, you know, it's people. As much as I probably want to slap them and say, for goodness sake, you've got a brilliant opportunity, take it. It's not, everybody's not the same personality, are they?
But I think for people also, it's too good to be true, right? When you give them news, it's like, really? Are you sure this is going to happen? So when it doesn't happen at the same time, like you said, I said November. I didn't say 2019. The spirit didn't say 2020. They're like, oh my God. But she said, but because they're expecting it, right? But a lot of people are very impatient anyways. It's like me too. Like I'm impatient, but now I'm like, okay, whatever.
But I think that's the thing, isn't it? People don't want to wait. People need a date. People need this, but it's not necessarily the right bit for them at the right time. You know, I do get people that say to me, how long is it going to be? And I say, I can only give you a rough guide, but it depends on other circumstances. You know, who could have, well, we all knew something weird was going to happen this year, but we didn't know to this extent, did we? You know, right. And it has delayed a lot of stuff. You know, how many people have sort of, it's good in a way though, especially for the dating people, because they might have just started to see somebody and then it's gotten on lockdown. And they've had to do old-fashioned conversation on the phone. So getting to know somebody better rather than going, I'm going to marry them next week, I love them. You know, it changes perception of things. So I do think in one way it's been good, but I think there's more people, like you say, turning to spirituality because it gives hope, it's free will, it's a different, you know, people don't want to be suppressed, do they? And this is exactly what this horrid virus is doing, is the governments and things are trying to control people. So more people are reaching out and going, they need some hope and some positivity coming in. So right. And they come to me because I'll tell them the truth.
Right. I know you tell truth.
Sorry. People come back time and time again, but one of the things I would say is when you're saying, you know, people don't give it time to transpire. So you know, we all need money to survive, but I'm not that kind of person that if I've given them a reading and a month later they say, can I book in again? I go, you've not really given anything any time. Unless somebody's passed over that they want to connect to make sure it's all right. You've got to give things time to evolve. And I do say to people, because I do have regular clients, don't live your life by a reading. It's a guide, it's a summary. But, you know, you've got to just live your life. But remember that they've given you bits of info and things will be all right. It'll be a challenge, but it'll be all right. But some people, you know, they message me at 11 o'clock at night. I've only just learned how to put do not disturb on my phone because my phone lights the room up and I think I'm getting a visitation. I'm not the best when I'm woke from sleep. So, but they'll message me at 11 o'clock at night saying, you know, do I eat this or do I eat that? You know, for example. So I just, you can't live your life like that.
But that's a great advice. I think that's very logical and very practical, because hope is such a big thing for human beings. So all they have is that, but they forgot to live. You know,
Yeah.
they forgot that you need to move. Okay, great. That is what do you call it? A pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But if you're sitting down and think that somebody's going to knock down on your door and bring the pot of gold, it's not going to happen. You have
No.
to work. You have to move your ass, right? So I think it becomes very dangerous when people get into that mode and that mentality.
Yeah, definitely. It annoys me to a degree, and I'm afraid I'm quite blunt, and I don't book them back in. So, you know, I might be thinking, oh yeah, that'd be lovely. You know, book in. I could take your money,
Right.
and that's great. But that's not what I'm about, because that's not how it works. And you know, you've got spirit on the other side going, oh dear, she's not giving it time or whatever. So, don't get me wrong. There are times doing this job which is quite upsetting. When I get somebody in and they've lost somebody to suicide or a child, you know, because you never expect your children to go before, and you read for somebody and you can feel that their soul has gone because they just don't want to live without that person, that I don't like that part, because I feel as though I failed them, because I just can't. I want to squidge them and make them feel better, and there's nothing in the world that I could say or do that's going to take that pain away. And that's the downside to it. And I must admit, sometimes when clients leave, when they used to come to my house, I'd sit and sob, because I just think, you know, what can you do to make them feel better? It's a tough job like that.
Of course, I'm sure it is. We know people that have taken their lives, and we know how devastated it is for you to face both sides. You know, I salute you for that, and then feel like I need to do more. What can I do to make that person that's living live, you know, better? So let's touch a bit about the people that have taken by their lives, their own lives. So when at the end of the day, people that are gone, there are questions. There's religion. Based on religion, people believe certain beliefs. So where did the spirit, when we die, how does we want to look forward? I for one am not afraid of death. I think that, you know, if you embrace birth, you also have to embrace death, because it's part of the cycle of life. But the question that most people wants to know is, where do we go? What happens to us is at the end? There are people that believe that that's the end of it. No, nothing happens.
Well, it's definitely not the end of it, because I link to it. Either that or I'm a proper nut job, you know, because
I don't think it's a lot.
How can I read for people I've never met, who sometimes I don't even see them because they have a phone caller and they're on the other side of the world because they don't want a video call, and I can tell them things about that I couldn't possibly know. So there's got to be something. The thing you were touching on earlier is the non-believers. So when they're saying, oh, is this going to happen? How's it going to happen? I always get linked to spirit. So somebody they know that's a loved one, they give evidence of how they passed, timings, anniversaries, birth dates, significant dates, what they passed with, what their character was like, how they looked. So they know I'm linking to somebody they know. So they trust, okay? Then you give them something that's a funny or something that might have happened or a memory, and they go, yeah. You bring it to the present time of things that are going off now, and they go, oh my God, how do you know that? And then you're giving them something that the spirit are saying is coming future, which is their choice, of course, but they'll give you that. So you've got to build up that trust. Now, when we go to the other side, we won't truly know until we get there, will we? So, but I have spirits coming through saying, gosh, if I'd have known it was 5-star on this side, I'd have come a bit earlier. And the beauty of spirit is their energy. So if you have a family of 5 sisters, for example, and mum and dad and whoever else, and they can be with them all at the same time because their energy, they love it. Spirit comes through to me saying, I know what they're all up to because I'm with them all at the same time, and I'm listening to what's going off. So and people always ask me, does spirit grow if a baby doesn't make it to the physical world? Are they still a baby on the other side? Now, to start off with, they give me the baby that didn't make it to physical world, and then they show me that energy, what they would look like around now, what their age would be now. So whether they work with other mediums like that, that's what they do for me.
Right. That's so interesting. My goodness.
It's fab. You never stop learning. It's interesting all around. You never stop, and they always surprise you with different things. You know, so where my reading room is, I have open stairs from that room up to the upstairs of the house, and I have all mood lighting on the stairs. And when I do readings, I have the mood lights on, and I can see spirit children playing in the lights. They're buggers. You have to, you know, they're terrible. You have to tell them to behave. They run up and down my stairs. They're terrible.
Oh my God. It's so, I mean, I think it's so brave. Like, I don't want to hear, I don't want to see. We had an experience. I don't want to see. Don't tell me. I don't want to see. You know, I sometimes I question myself, because sometimes when it happens, I go like, oh, it's in your bloody head. Shut up.
But you kind of make a logical explanation for it. How many of us do that? That you kind of feel as though you've seen somebody out the corner of your eye, and you go, oh, don't be silly. Or you hear a noise and you go, oh no, that was just the fridge making a noise. That was nothing silly. You don't be daft. And yeah, so spirit, it's like they try and get your attention. So it's like every day they'll be calling your name. Hi, Kirsty, 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 and I'm not listening. So, you know, they'll mess with the telly and turn the TV off, or alter the volume, or mess with your lights, or anything electrical, or move things. They move things. Have you ever had any jewelry or things go missing?
Yeah, because I think that, oh, you know, you just put it, you need to put it in the same place, you idiot, you're putting it everywhere. But like, I have a jewelry thing. You know,
yeah,
it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. How many times do we go, I must have put it somewhere else?
Yeah. And you know, it's just age. I'm losing my mind, you know, but it's interesting. I really embrace all this. I think that it's, for me personally, it's so arrogant of us for me to not acknowledge any of this. It's so sad. Like, if I think that, you know, that's no, after I die, that's it, nothing, you know, for me, or I don't acknowledge that there is a human being. The soul is so powerful, you know, we are born with soul, and just to say it ends like that, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, there's been reports, haven't there, of children that have been sort of 7 or 8 that have been an old soul reincarnated, and that can tell you about actual incidents and family members, and so much so that they've taken their parents to the place where this person's still living, and it's a brother or a sister that's now in their 90s and can explain everything about them. And you know, so the soul does live on. So how many times have you been to a place and you feel like you've deja vu, you've been there before, you know it inside out, you think, how can I know it? I've never been here.
Yeah, true. And people, you just connect with people, and you just think that, you know, there is a connection somewhere, sometime, a long time ago.
You don't know what or how, but you just feel that connection. It's amazing. You'll be linking with more like-minded people. I just feel it at the moment. So I think your circle is changing. Real people, alive people, not dead ones. Don't worry.
I think I don't have any more people. So what is it like? How do you see yourself? Like, okay, how do you see yourself a year from now? Nobody expected COVID. Nobody asked, like, how do you see your life in 5 years' time?
Well, I'm hoping a slimmer me.
Well,
that would be good.
Yeah, but you also have a condition, right?
Yes, I have fibromyalgia, so chronic fatigue, aches and pains, and all the rest of it. So, but as you know, and you've been my inspiration, I've started on a diet, even though I've not been able to do much exercise. Lost a stone, probably put half of it back on because we're coming into winter here, and I struggle to not eat carbs. Oh, who invented bread? Who?
I have no idea, but I
bread
think
and potatoes.
But it's no, but I think it's wonderful that you lost a stone, and you know, talk about it's a process. Everything is learning, like going back and forth. And when you see you know, just getting back on track, back on the bicycle.
Yeah, exactly. So I see a lot of shows coming up. I think it's going that way. My business has definitely changed to the fact that I don't want people coming to the house. Now, I know that sounds mean, but, you know, I don't have to tidy a cupboard, or, you know, I can leave it strewn across the floor and carry on after work and things like that. I really like the fact that I can manage my day better with phone calls and video calls, because I can and then the rest of my time to do that, and then I've got events coming up in the evening, so it works much better than somebody coming to your house and, you know, you're going, your time's up, sweetie, you know,
you gotta go,
them towards the door and they don't want to go. So people are getting a bit miffed that I'm not doing face to face. And I said, video is face to face. You can sit in the comfort of your own home. You haven't got to pay for fuel cost of getting here. You can sit and have a gin and tonic in the evening while I'm talking to you if you like. You know, it's for your benefit. So, and obviously I am doing a lot all over the world. So I think my business has changed in that sense. I've started my group up. I teach a group on a Tuesday night. So everybody else who's got this gift that's up and we have such a laugh. You'd love it if you were over here. It's about having fun while you learn, and to realise that everybody's unique. So like I said earlier, everybody connects differently and interprets things differently. And we have our own personalities that when we are connecting for the person that we're reading for, you know, it's our personalities that come through that help bring the guides through, or the loved ones. So watching how my students work different ones, they're just amazing. And some of them I'm really proud of have printed business cards and they've got out there and they're doing that. And other ones have started learning therapies and they're now therapists doing, there's hypnotherapy and crystal healing and ear candling and all those things for well-being. And we've just got, it's like a lovely little family. So I started that up again because it's been shut down because of COVID.
Right.
Might be shut down again because we're going into lockdown again from Saturday, so that's going to be good. So yeah, it's about bringing everybody else, and you know, it's not a threat to bring other people in to do the same job as you, because like I said before, there is millions of people in the world and the right ones will be drawn to you. So I get really cross when there's other mediums that are working on an ego and think they're number one, and they don't nurture other people and help them, because that's not what it's about. That's not spiritual, if you like that.
Yeah, it's very, very true. I think this the way you are doing now with the technology, some people that don't like it is because they say, how does it work? You know, they think that you have to be connected, you know, face to face in real person, then for the spirit to come. But they come to you. They don't need you around. That, like for me, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly that. Yeah. So while I'm talking to you, if I'm bringing one of your family members through, I can see that they're stood behind you as I'm talking to you, but they're also with me because they're giving me the information. So I think that you've hit the nail on the head. People don't understand it. And I forget that because it's so normal to me. And my mum will say, well, I can understand why they don't want a video call, because they don't get it. They think they need to be sat in front of you.
Right.
You know, I get people when I say, would you like a phone call or a video call? They say, oh, which works better? Well, they're both the same. It just depends if you want to see my ugly mug on the other end of the screen, really. But they'll give me the same information, you know. And I think sometimes when people have a video call, because it can be very emotional as well. So people don't understand and they think they've got to fight back the tears. And I'll say, you know, I've seen more snot and tears this week. Just let it go. It doesn't matter. So I think that's why some people have a phone call rather than a video call, because we feel embarrassed. We're always embarrassed to let our tears go, aren't we?
I don't know. I just need to put on makeup before I go on video.
I've done quite a few readings of people still sat in their pajamas. And I'm like, gosh, I wish I could do the same.
So before we leave, right, I need a message from you, one, and a message that you have gotten from the other side that is so profound that will help people to find balance in your life, because everybody at the end of the day is looking for balance in their life, to be funny, I'm trying to find to be funny. I mean, to be healthy, to be, you know, good, to be just happy.
But I think the message is not just to be happy. The message that Spirit says sometimes it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
But the key thing is to talk to people. There's so many people that bottle everything up. There's always a way. Spirit always say to me, why are you worrying today? Because it's not going to change anything with the amount of worry that you give to that issue. I always say, can I give it to you guys up there? Because it's getting me down. So can I give you that issue and you sort it out, please? Right. And do you know what? Tomorrow's always another day. You can have a grumpy day today and it's another day tomorrow. But the other thing is, there's probably so many people that are in tune with the spirit world and don't realise it. So sometimes when you wake up in the morning and you think, I don't feel good, I feel depressed, or I haven't got motivation, it might not even be you. You might be connecting to a spirit that's giving you that's how they felt, or that's how they were when they passed. Or you could be connecting to your friend that's alive in this time, that's feeling out of sorts. But because, like you say, you're on the same wavelength, you've got a connection and you don't know why, you could be picking up on their energy.
Okay, that makes sense.
Some mornings and think, I feel a bit off it, and I think, oh, I feel poorly today, I can't work today, I'll not be able to tune in. When I've got to the person who's got this energy going on, or a person with them, I never click that I've got their dad with me all morning, that's how they felt and how they passed. The minute I speak to that person to do them a reading, and I get there and I think, oh, it was his energy, and then I feel fine.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Okay.
But I should realise it as a working medium, and I never think that in the morning, because I've got fibromyalgia and there's so many conditions go with it. I think, oh, I'm having a flare-up day, and I won't be beaten on it. And then all of a sudden it clicks, because I say, oh, I've had this energy all morning, this is how he passed, this is what he felt like, and they went, yeah. Once I've acknowledged it, they take that off.
Wow. Okay. Well, okay, what about messages from you?
For who? You?
No, not for me. No, please.
Because I've got your dad's been stood behind you.
I was just thinking that, right? Like.
And I don't know why, and this is really, really random, and I don't know whether it's something in language or whatever, because obviously you're over in Singapore, but all the time I'm talking to you, and please don't laugh at me, this is one of the other things, we get embarrassed with things that we get, but I keep hearing Popo. What the heck does that mean? Is it a name? Is it?
I don't know.
I keep getting that all the time, and I keep seeing a really pretty lady showing me herself when she was young. She was old when she passed, but she's showing herself young. She's got the most beautiful pair of legs.
My grandmother? I don't know.
Big earrings. No, I don't feel she's your family.
Oh.
I don't know. I just keep hearing Popo. I think she's saying Popo. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I need to say.
It's all right. I have to look through my pictures and
just showing the Chanel couple.
That's cute. That's okay.
I don't know. I just feel as though there is a lady that's really lovely. She's on your shoulder. I'm not sure if she's family, but she's just. I just keep hearing Popo, and I don't know what that means. But she's with you, and I feel as though she's giving you. She keeps saying a step up. So this is something else to come. I don't know. I know we joked earlier about being a millionaire and waiting for it coming in. But I actually feel as though she's putting you onto a throne, a very ornate chair.
God.
Does this make sense at all?
Yeah,
I know it does, because she's telling me it does, but you don't have to say it's fine.
Right.
But I've just been given that you need to be on this throne. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that there. Okay, so a message for the public.
Yes.
I do want to say, I feel as though, and I know people don't want to talk about this horrible virus and things like that. I do feel like it's not as crazy as everybody's making out. I do feel it's a cover-up for a lot of other things that are going on to sort of mask it. I do feel we need to build an immunity to it. So, you know, there are going to be people that test positive that don't even pass it on. Oh, hello, they're nice. I'll have those when you've done. And I do feel that there is hope. So I feel the more people that stand united and don't live in fear, because you could get this virus like you do the flu and be perfectly fine. So Spirit have kept saying to me all along, and I know people think I shouldn't say things like this, but they're telling me it's a big cover-up, that there is a virus, it's never going to go away, it's like flu, it's going to come and go each year, but it's not as bad as everybody's making out. So don't let everybody make you live in fear. Don't go under a dictatorship, and live your life.
Right.
Sensibly. I'm not
Right,
saying
sensibly.
don't do
Carefully.
things,
Yeah.
but live your life, because otherwise it's going to pass you by. So don't live in fear. Spirit is saying to me, I'll be honest with you, I'm mask exempt because I have asthma and loads of other things going on. But I've not worn a mask from the beginning. And I feel perfectly safe. I don't feel scared. So they're just giving that hope to everybody that said life will go back to being sort of normal. And I feel it's coming just after Christmas. So, you know, fingers crossed and all that.
Singapore is slowly opening up. But before we go, I'm going to read. Oh, somebody say Popo means grandmother.
Ah!
Yeah. So I'm going to read some messages before, because it's going to shut down on us. Any messages for you. So I'm going to put your contact. I know you're going to get freaks on the show. So somebody says, lovely show. Oh, that's Paul. Popo beats. Okay. So I'm going to put it there. And then hopefully you are going to extend, instead of 20 minutes to 45 minutes for
my normal one is 45 minutes. So I've just been doing 20 minutes for people in the UK or wherever, because there's not been the money with the virus going on. So I've just done an offer because people still need hope and guidance and all the rest of it. You know, so and it keeps me busy and out of mischief. Unless I'm talking to you, of course. So yeah, people can contact me. I'll put my number on. I'm not good on Instagram, guys. You're teaching me. I know. I'm not down with the kids. So I'm just getting to grips with Facebook. I'm on there and Messenger and things like that. And obviously I've got a website and things. So if anybody does want to message me, if you're just going to message me and go, can you tell me, should I, you know, eat chips today or have a salad? I'm not going to respond to that.
Then divert them to
me. Chips. I'm just going to say, while I have been talking to you, you have got spirit all around you, because there's orbs that keep flying. I don't know if anybody else sees it on their screen, but there's been like a smoke that keeps going across you. So I don't know if anybody else wants to confirm that they've been seeing that, but all the time I've been talking to you, you've had spirits swirling around you. Absolutely loved by the spirit world. And they keep saying to tell you that you're doing a good job.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel good.
She seems surprised.
No, I am. No, but that's a very good message to get. Thank you so much. I try to do right.
Proud of you. Your dad is proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and I know you don't want to hear it, but there's a man coming in. I know you've closed the gates, but sorry.
There's many men coming in. I put a barrier.
And I have just got spirit saying you won't be having a career in football. Sorry, I saw your video.
Do you think I can be a professional? No.
No. Yes, but not at football. Oh, well, thank you for having me on here today. It's been absolutely lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time. This won't be the last time, and hopefully we can have another chat another time. But I'll have my list soon. And
I was just going to say, is that when you've got your list? Just for anybody that doesn't know what we're laughing at, when this one rings for a reading, she has a list of things she needs to know about.
Yes. Chop, chop. All right, it's going to shut us down. Thank you so much. I'll speak to you soon.
Lovely. Take care. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.